Logan Paul has got to be the fakest person to come out of YouTube, and I don't say this lightly. Some people right now would argue that, nah, that would actually be Mr. Beast, but honestly, I don't even think that's the case when compared to Logan Paul. For those of you who don't really remember or who haven't had the time to look into Coffeezilla's new video or previous work, Logan Paul is an individual who a year ago, intentionally or unintentionally, defrauded their audience for millions of dollars after a failed attempt to launch a crypto project known as CryptoZoo. An estimated $18.5 million were raised to fund the development of this project, but as time passed, nothing would actually come out of this, and to this day, it appears that nothing will ever come out of this, even though it has been promised extensively. Out of these $18.5 million, only $2.3 million were offered in a buyback attempt to prevent a class action lawsuit. To learn more about this issue, I encourage all of you who watch this video to go watch and support Coffeezilla directly, as he was the one who primarily investigated this issue and cracked the case wide open to the public. This led to a discovery that made people realize that this project was more than likely never going to amount to anything, following the revelation that insiders and CryptoZoo partners have actually jumped ship and made out with a huge bag. Bag means a huge amount of money, guys. For those of you who are just tuning in, bag means a huge amount of money. I'm just using slang, guys. I'm just using slang. Anyways, after the story was broken, Logan Paul took a swing at Coffeezilla and accused him of being a malicious journalist with no integrity and defamed Logan Paul for YouTube views and notoriety. Logan Paul threatened to sue Coffeezilla for his coverage, claiming that he was just using Logan Paul's name for internet fame and money. Of course, doing this was a stupid move, and Logan Paul would walk back his threats, his bad-mouthing, and then proceeded to apologize and glaze Coffeezilla. Started doing tricks on it, I guess. Fact of the matter is that Logan Paul just refused to take any accountability for his actions, and to this day still doesn't, unless you want to consider his terrible attempts at PR taking accountability, but I digress. That's pretty much the TLDR, but again, I encourage everyone to go look into Coffeezilla's work and coverage on this, as his investigation is thorough and groundbreaking. Recently, I saw this video that Coffeezilla posted where he claims and shows documentation of Logan Paul filing a lawsuit against him after Coffeezilla attempted to get word back for an investigation he was conducting for another one of Logan Paul's companies. This company, known as Liquid Marketplace, is a new crypto company launched by Logan Paul and collaborators that is meant to, as they put it, allow collectors to co-own physical assets. Let's see what their About Us section on their website says. Liquid Marketplace, where collectors co-own physical assets. You no longer need to buy an asset by yourself. Co-own expensive collectibles with groups of friends or other users. Evaluation. Assets are carefully selected, authenticated, and appraised by industry experts. They are then moved to a highly secured third-party vault. Sure, that sounds very trustworthy. Co-ownership. The total value of collectibles is split into equal portions, where one portion costs 10 cents. Start owning rare collectibles with other people and buy what you are comfortable spending. Co-owners decide what happens to the collectible. Do you want to sell it in an auction, hold it, or accept a buyout offer? The choice is with the co-owners. Marketplace. After each asset is sold out from offerings, it is moved to the marketplace where users can buy, sell, and trade tokens. Well, interesting. I wonder where that went wrong in the past. Community. As a member of the Liquid Marketplace community, you can have the power to cast votes that decide the future of the assets you own tokens of, specifically whether it goes to auction or not. Liquid Marketplace also gives collectors the opportunity to collect with friends as well as join our Discord, where you will become a part of our established community of like-minded collectors. I wonder where I've heard that before. Further on their website, we can also see their story, their mission, and their move. Okay, I haven't heard that one before. Let's see what their story says. We began after noticing a divide in the collectibles market. Growing prices meant die-hard fans and collectors were often priced out. As collectors first, we wanted to change that. Their mission says, we want to make valuable and exclusive collectibles accessible to anyone interested in building their collection. Our vision is to create a level playing field where those who truly appreciate collecting can own something legendary. Our move. We created a large-scale platform where people can own a piece of history by buying, selling, and trading collectibles in real time via co-ownership. When you purchase a portion of a collectible on Liquid Marketplace, you become a co-owner of that asset. Already as a stupid, uninformed moron, this to me obviously screams, this is too good to be true and looks like a project dedicated to capitalize off FOMO. You know, the fear of missing out, by selling co-ownership of collectibles to people. How would that even work realistically? You're getting groups of people to pitch into a collectible item so that they can all collectively crowdfund the purchase of a collectible they will never really own? I wonder what could possibly go wrong with that idea. Make of that what you will, but you probably won't be surprised to hear that this company has actually been labeled as a multi-layered fraud. How surprising. Immediately, to any skeptical and logical individual, this would raise red flags, so Coffeezilla reached out to Logan Paul asking for a statement, giving him a 24-hour deadline, only for Logan Paul to respond with a lawsuit 3 hours before said deadline. Why he would do that after praising Coffeezilla in the past and abandoning a former lawsuit attempt? Who knows? Point being is that Logan Paul is truly a relentless and unforgiving individual that is using the law to silence Coffeezilla, despite claiming that Coffee had done excellent journalism that opened his eyes up to flaws in how his CryptoZoo project has failed and how people made out with his fans' money. Of course, this isn't the only time that Logan Paul has been caught with his hands in the cookie jar, attempting to use crypto as a vehicle to quickly fill his wallet. Not that it's surprising to many of you who are aware of what Logan Paul has been up to for the last 5 years. Remember Dink Doink? Yeah, that one was totally not a pump and dump scheme. CryptoZoo is still an ongoing problem, and now Liquid Marketplace is being recognized as a multi-layered fraud by the Canadian government. Yeah, I bet you could call this a severe and repeated lapse in Logan Paul's judgment. I wonder how many more repeats we'll see in the future. Anyways, the point of this video is to really just further hammer down an issue that we have seen plenty of in the last couple of years, and that is the fact that a lot of these famous YouTubers, influencers, and idols, whatever you want to call them, are not as clean and as authentic as some people would like to assume. As it stands, it is very evident that Logan Paul will do anything within his power to silence Coffeezilla and his detractors through litigious means, going as far as to file a suit against him for a reason unrelated to the previous investigation that was being conducted. I feel like it's important to mention that since this lawsuit is entirely separate from the one Logan threatened Coffee with in regards to the CryptoZoo scandal. Furthermore, I want to really express just how bad this issue truly is. I mean, I probably don't have to tell many of you considering how popular Coffeezilla's video is, getting 3 million views in less than 24 hours, but whatever. The fact that YouTubers and authentic journalists these days are being legally silenced recently for exposing or attempting to expose very real and damaging issues is something that I take particular issue with, and is something that should be incredibly unacceptable by any standard. If for whatever reason I can bring this to the attention of even 5 or 10 or even more people that may watch my video who didn't know this was going on, I'm glad, happy, ecstatic even, because Coffeezilla is someone I genuinely believe deserves all the support he can get right now. Something that Coffeezilla mentions in his video is that typically people in his line of work have some sort of media insurance that help them mitigate the costs of potential legal troubles and frivolous lawsuits for covering stories and certain investigation. But apparently in this case, Coffeezilla is just shit out of luck and won't be getting coverage, which I find to be incredibly disheartening and demoralizing. As it turns out, based on Coffeezilla's examination, this lawsuit doesn't appear to be filed for the sake of winning, but simply for the sake of silencing Coffeezilla.
Did you know, 6 days before the lawsuit, I had featured Logan Paul in a teaser for a video? Did you know 21 hours before the lawsuit, I had texted Logan for comment? Did you know I told him he had 24 hours to respond, and Logan sued me 3 hours before the deadline? Yep, that's right. Logan's lawyers then threatened me in that lawsuit email that if I report on this new story, Logan might hold me accountable. And Logan's definition of accountability seems to mean he'll sue me, which is why I believe this lawsuit was not designed to win, but to shut me up, to threaten me, using Logan's wealth and a federal court system without anti-slap to send a message.
Per Coffeezilla, he was going to release a video this month going in depth into another investigation launched into Logan Paul, where Coffeezilla had actually reached out attempting to get a comment directly from Logan, only to be met with a lawsuit 3 hours before a 24-hour deadline. I find this incredibly sad and pathetic, and it appears based on Coffeezilla's analysis that this is meant entirely to bully Coffeezilla out of reporting on an investigation. Coffeezilla is actually someone that I look up to here on YouTube because his level of journalism and investigative work is something that I hope to accomplish one day, some way, somehow, even if it is just on internet degens and lolcows. I like to believe that authentic and integrity-based journalists are some of the most important people when it comes to the internet and entertainment, because I personally believe covering stories like this authentically and without prejudice is something that is extremely valuable to the community by applying a form of policing or checks and balances to members while being entertaining and insightful. There are many lessons to be learned from these investigations, and the last thing that needs to happen is for people to be silenced over vindictive lawsuits. Remember the investigation launched by Carl Jost and Mudahar into the Completionist last year? That was definitely an interesting story that deserved all the attention it got, because when you let these people go unchecked and don't hold them accountable, some people get too comfortable attempting to get away with things that they wouldn't have done otherwise. Coffeezilla in the past has also covered and thoroughly reported on massive frauds and scammers such as Sam Bankman-Fried, and even confronted Boogie on his pump and dump scheme that happened about a month ago. This goes to show that Coffeezilla is not exclusive to just millionaire billionaire scammers, but also keeps himself grounded with other prominent, or should I say semi-prominent, members of the YouTube scene. What Logan Paul is doing is a massive disservice to everyone on the internet and only serves to antagonize everyone who believes in freedom of the press, all because he refuses to be checked or be held accountable for his damaging actions, and I find that incredibly disgusting. If I am to believe Coffeezilla at face value, then this lawsuit serves to financially exhaust him, which in translation only serves to detriment a person's livelihood and their productivity, forcing them to slow down or halt their practices. That being said, for anyone watching this video who may not know of Coffeezilla, I implore all of you to watch his content and potentially respect his coverage enough so you may potentially decide to support him through this. As for Logan Paul, I genuinely believe that he is one of the worst individuals to grace this platform and has proven time and time again that he cares for nobody but himself and is willing to do just about anything for selfish gain. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.